Yo, right. Doing a quick set analysis for Nick Yingling. Falco versus Peach set. This was a nation analysis. If anyone else now, I'm only $5 for best of threes. I'll probably change them for $10 for best of fives. Amount of time it takes to. Regardless, I like doing them for anyone who asks, and get popular enough, then yeah, I might ask for a little bit more. But, right now, it's just for the love and the fun. And top right into this rec. Looks like they did a strikes to Dreamland. Best of 5 as Falco. I would imagine that Yoshi's story Peach would take out right away. So when Peach got pick, FD would be Falco, and Fountain would be next stage pick for Falco to probably there less room. Dreamland is pretty bad for Falco. Killing potential, but being able to run laser setup how you want to is still pretty strong. So yeah, you have to work 38% or do 38% more damage than you would otherwise most other stages to get your general kill setups off of up airs and back airs. But the stage control and real estate does have another value that kind of makes it and not just insurmountable. So Dreamland is definitely not a terrible pick for go. And for Peach, yeah, getting rid of Fountain. Battlefield is neutral. Generally, I would imagine the stage actually starting at Battlefield, but I can see Peach, story Battlefield in favor of getting. So I'm assuming that if there was a rock paper scissors done, Yingling lost that because Battlefield would probably be the place we would go, and Dreamland being the alternate based on stage strikes as a loser. So, we'll just go ahead and hop into this here. And let's see how this opener goes. Hey, what's up, Coach Zetsu? Thanks for the raid. This is just a quick little set analysis, so not much to see here. But I'm just gonna go into just a local Falco versus set analysis and see what we can do to improve. All right. Ooh. So that was a sick opener. Laser check off of the after the neutral start. But yeah, that sucks that holding down is greater than you because you didn't get the shine out in time. Peach did have weight advantage hitting down air from the high. Probably, I mean, there's not really much you can do but learn that with your body, I think. I think that's one of those things where you're going to have to change the aerial that you do so that it becomes more safe. Down air just makes a lot of sense. Downer just makes so much sense to do there, but at the same time, the percentage just doesn't work. Neutral air would probably be more effective. Going into shield in case they're just mashing A, which most scrub peaches do. So, always something to be aware of. Not to say that Napkin's necessarily a scrub, but Napkins does like to press buttons like most peaches will do, because 3-frame neutral air, heavyweight floaty character, is generally really strong. So neutral air on that setup would probably be superior at low percent, just because it will give you a little bit extra time to maybe get a shine, keep her in the air, so that you get neutral aired instead of ASDI down smashed. But you're gonna eat this, and it's gonna be all right. And so after that down smash, though, she got an untrue combo. buffering shield is not all that bad in that situation, on that low percent scramble, because one, if you're buffering it, depending on where you're getting hit and the down smash, you can just kind of get your auto tech if it does force you ground. So you have 40 frames where it just lets you tech, and then if you end up being standing, you'll shield, and so that dash attack becomes untrue, and you can shine out a shield punish. So usually in those situations, just buffering shield and then picking a DI direction. So try to keep that in mind anytime you're in a scramble, and you can probably save some percent and get some free retaliation when people just kind of trying to rotate buttons on you. Alright, so you did a double roll. Definitely always look to react and respond whenever you're in that position. After recovering from a devastating hit. Because a better player would have punished that second roll. But you got the ball going. Making just good use of all your boxes. None of Peach's buttons were really going to be beating you in that position. So that's just Falco strength right there. Yeah, never go neutral. Never go neutral at center stage. Always try to fight to get to a platform. When you're at this percentage, even if you DI away, you're not going to die like you did before. By waiting till after you're at this percentage to start trying to move, that's when it's bad. And so instead of just holding, because at this position you didn't need to hold just straight left, you want to try to just kiss the platform. So up and away would have been your best DI option here, because if it's ambiguous whether they're going to forward throw you, just put you on platform and go for neutral air. Just imagine the DI that you need to go to get to the safe platform would have kept you from getting that long DI where now and no cover. So yeah, just hold onto the just hold in up and away so that you can get to the platform, so that way you don't block for free. Decent neutral exchanges. If that forward air was questionable, a shield grab would have blown that up, but Napkins didn't look like it was expecting it. It was looking, I think, a little too hard to just try to hit you with random buttons as you were trying to approach and try to get percentage trades, instead of just trying to really push that advantage by playing a stronger neutral. But that can be difficult to play, like, depending on what you're looking for. Good. Lighting him behind Peach. Also really good. Erase the shield grab. They're all fundamentally very sound. Good laser check approaches. So far, very strong. Laser check forward smash, not good. If Dakins held his water, you would have just got shield grabbed and put in a position where you could have gotten yumped. That's a scrub killer, and it worked out for you there, but not something I would probably recommend just doing as your general game plan. That's gamble melee. Nice drop trying to avoid the turnip, but you didn't went a little bit too far down to make the recovery less ambiguous. There was a timing to avoid the turnip and get the up B. I think that's just something you're gonna have to acquire through experience, grinding this matchup, which will be hard because there's not that many Peaches have access to, but that's that frame trap setup that Napkins showed before. That's a tough one. I don't actually know the true solution for that situation. I would just know, like, instinctually I would just want to get off that platform. Trying to test reactions against someone who can demonstrate that they have reactions. It's not Not something I would do if I can help it. Just take your licks, take your damage, and just get to a position where you can be safe with the least amount of damage done, instead of having to eat the damage, allowing them to prove that they can fuck you before they're done fucking you already. There's a difference of 30%, 70%. Laser check forward smash against float when they're at the no-fly zone. It's always solid. So I mean, you're generally just fundamentally sound for the most part here. Your critical mistakes are just kind of coming from when you get touched, like a little bit of panic, and a little bit just a lack of knowledge, I think, of where you want to be when you're in certain grabs or hit. How you're DIing late, you're basically just kind of DIing the things late, and so that had the good DI. You got hit by a grinder on that platform, which is obviously bad. Don't hold down. Not sure if it's a missed shield drop, but why are you trying to shield drop when Peach is on the same platform as you? Like a down smash is shield dropping a down smash is probably never going to work. Just don't do it. You're better off just going with a short hop out of shield, because that actually would have punished, or just getting sliding off the platform. Sometimes you want to utilize these techniques, but they are actually overrated. Like there's definitely utility in them, but when they're appropriate, not just because you can do them. That goes for everything. Like don't just use the techniques because you practice them. You want to practice using them effectively. And if that means slowing down your game a little bit until you find them, then no easy stocks. Because basically what cost you there was you gave him 2 easy stocks. If you gave him a little bit more trouble, and even just one of the stocks, that game could have been completely different. Especially as Falco, because you're a squishy character that has one of the strongest neutral games in the game, because you erase neutral effectively. Like, or rather, you so dramatically changed neutral. Napkin, that was a good call by Napkins. Most other people would have just waited for you to go onto stage because going straight up was ambiguous. But at that low percent, yeah, that's just one of those things where it's a gamble. Against someone who doesn't know what you would do, they would probably wait. But I think Napkins just had to tell that you would try to steal percent on your recovery. And so, there you have to go high. Got the laser checks. Good job denying ledge. So even though you didn't get the hardest punish that you wanted, that's still a good habit. Taking ledge is always good. You can work on the timing to make that more effective, but denying ledge is absolutely critical for getting stocks consistently. That's something that a lot of new players just aren't doing very well, and the more you can deny ledge, the better. Back air, chase, trying to destroy the float with lasers. Down a little bit. So with Falco, something that I think everyone can learn, like Mango can often be a bad role model, but a good example. Mango looks to be really aggressive against floats, and there's many times against Napkins where Napkins is not demonstrating that they're willing to push buttons. So taking those opportunities to find the spots where you can just straight up go and back air, or just or try to pressure with neutral airs and things like that. They're trying to shine out of the wake up. Yeah. I mean, it can work because it's a really good move, but your box is a little bit small, and sometimes people are always looking for shine wake ups, and that can work against you. So I mean, it's not that it was wrong, just be careful with it. So we got clean stocks, one last stock situation. So this is pretty good for you because you're at a percentage where down smash might be a little bit less devastating as long as you're not holding down. You just basically you don't have to get hit in this position. Every hit that you make is just a mistake you've made in neutral. Have a lot of margin, and Peach at this percentage can be comboed to death. Oh, he got battlefielded. Yeah, it's one of those tough ones. Going that high with up B. You always have to account for that. Not much you can say there. Like, getting battlefielded is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of awareness. Like, you just have to be aware that that is always a possibility, and sometimes you have to take your licks and get hit instead. Stock. Shield. Long downer. So not bad attempt. Just one unfortunate that you can make it, and also tough break on the angle. You didn't have many options. You had to hit it or you die. So those are things that sometimes you just gotta take. And oh my god, dying for missed tech is. I go too far there. Alright, avoided the worst case scenario, getting gimped at. Nice up tilt. You know, in that position, like, you actually had opportunity, because up tilt is really low lag. I think you could have actually gotten something in that position. Oh well. Nice. Way to steal that stock. I call that stealing stock because anytime you kill someone in invincibility, it's kind of like stealing the stock back. Even though you can make a series of calls and they have to make a series of mistakes, those aren't guaranteed. But recognizing them is always. Oh wow, nice. That up air conversion. I would not have expected. Yep, that's fine. Like, you eat the you take the hit, and so going high at low percent is okay because unless they get the right hit, you're just gonna eat 30%, and then you just go back to returning playing. And neutral is very doable. Your general neutral play has been pretty strong. You're basically getting beat off of the scramble. Anytime you gotta get hit in the weird way, anytime you gotta get put in frame disadvantage states, that's where you're losing. And that's just going to be experience with learning how to get hit, or just strengthening your neutral so much that it doesn't matter if you get put there. You're winning neutrals so much harder that the amount of times that you're getting put in those disadvantaged states is just cut in half. Like, half of those mistakes would win you each of these games, because overall you're generally solid. You're getting caught by just like basically mistakes, not blunders. But then when you're in the positions, so this tech is almost always guaranteed. Anytime you up B and you're going, there's no downside to just pressing R as you're near the ledge. Like, you just push and hold it. Once again, 40 frames for when you hold L and R will guarantee you that tech. So, like, as your up B is going out, just push and hold L and R and hold towards the ledge, and you can even up and towards, and as up and towards, you'll always get guaranteed the wall jump tech. And if it's 90 degrees, yeah, I mean, if it's horizontal, you will always or below, then you will always just get the regular tech and fall down. So yeah, just holding, if you're holding up and toward, just hold L and R, you'll get the wall jump tech pretty much all the time. Don't have to time it with this crazy precision. Just hold it. So you will survive that and every time. So yeah, FD is a rough one because if you are vulnerable to getting shield grabs with your playstyle, it's bad for you. But that's why it takes practice. Like you have to play against people that will blow you up to get used to the stage, because FD is good for you. You have full hop laser heights to deny float camps. They can float at a certain height that makes your short hop lasers don't work, and make it so that your rising lasers don't hit. But so you have to time like a falling one, but you can just create that space. Because if they try to invade it, then you have a potential for aerial superiority by getting underneath Peach, or meeting them as they're trying to go down and bait their floats. Because floats last 3 seconds, so you can just kind of time it, and you can kind of dictate when you want to try to blow it up, and just watch how they react. Hey, thanks for the follow. Erwin. Good job keeping her off balance there. Always want to maintain your positional advantages whenever you get them, especially on the stage. These are the invisible benefits. Like everyone's always talking about, like, oh, you know, you get the chain throw, it's such a big disadvantage, but you have this huge advantage that there's no platforms. They're very limited once they commit to a float on what they can do for a certain amount of time. Learning how to be patient is how you win against Marth, Peach, all these characters that will blow you up on FD, because it's still good for you. You just have to not make mistakes, and that's just going to take practice. You have to learn to really feel the potential danger and not succumb to it. It's kind of like how people say, like, oh, because like the mental effect of wobbling is such a big deal. Well, this is effectively wobbling here. Like when you get chain thrown by Peach on FD, it is a stock by all accounts. If you get grabbed, you will die here, and being able to recognize that and play with the mental fortitude necessary to handle it is what you need to do. Nice spacing on the down air, recognizing that you weren't going to get the hit. So yeah, really, you have everything that you need to beat Napkins. You have everything that you need, except just a little bit more consistency in your game. Also being less afraid to just snap to ledge there. You didn't have to go straight. You could actually angle down and just snapped and then do your ledge wave dash. But doing ledge wave dash at this stock at high percent, understandable if you don't want to do it. But yeah, having the presence of mind to handle the scrambles whenever you're getting hit is your biggest flaw in this matchup, because you won neutral, you lost the punish game, and because basically you have to build your percentage. Peach is an attrition character, unless you're finding opportunities where you're chasing her out and you're getting that fat down air, or finding those crazy back air moments. You're not going to you're going to have to work just a lot harder to get kills, but it's not really that much work because your character lets you dictate a lot of the pace of the match. Peach kind of tries to steal it from you because of the float, but you still have control over it because the float is finite, your ammo, your lasers are infinite. So basically work on your patience whenever Peach is in that float range, trying to float past lasers, and Napkins never really demonstrated that. Like, let's take a look back on this last game on FD. Like, Peach has that crazy float height where Peach can just avoid your lasers and get back to a neutral state out of it. Going for shine back air there. Just go for the back air. Shine back air means nothing. I'm sad I didn't point that out. Alright, you reset. So he just full hops. Full hops and comes down with nair. There's no float. Like, that is so exploitable because even your short hop back air would blow that up. But you're looking for neutral air in that situation. Whenever you have a positional advantage, back air's like you're looking relative height. If Peach is here, your back airs are here. Like you have this diagonal advantage against neutral air. So forward air is what you're worried about, but you can kind of react to it since it has a little pullback and you want to anticipate it, and it's a little bit laggy unless they float cancel and fall down with it. But if they're float canceling and falling down with it, then you'd retreat laser and you have a lock. If you notice that they're moving back after float or using anything, then that's when you start laser advancing, getting in shield lock. They're not demonstrating power shields, so you have a lot less to worry about. If they demonstrate power shields, 30% is enough to throw off your rhythm. Then you can look to anticipate by just trying to power shield back. It's something you can practice. Grab a homie, practice having someone who's decent at power shielding your stuff, and practice power shielding it back. That's how you practice power shielding, and that's how you can practice power shielding as a retaliation. Because most people, when they power shield, they're instinctually just going to try to move out of shield as soon as possible. So just practice dealing with someone trying to move out of shield as soon as possible. That's just the natural adaptation. So yeah, Peaches is floating at these heights that are not the anti short hop laser heights, but they're also exceptionally high. So they're also not the anti full hop laser heights. There's a spot they can float that is outside of both of them, so you have to do a full hop, kind of slow fall laser unless you have really good tech. But this isn't being demonstrated. You can absolutely exploit this. This is winnable for you with a little bit better neutral. You have that back roll there, which obviously costs you a big stock. I'm not sure if that was an input error or not, but yeah, just basically be careful with panic rolls. Always react and respond with your roll. Peach is a slow character. She's not going to be able to just run up and grab you without you recognizing that she's invading your space. Because if she gets to invade your space, that tells you, and it tells the Peach that you are now scared, and you like to press buttons. And so even if you're scared, if you demonstrate that you like to press buttons, Peach is going to be a lot more cautious in invading that space. Unless they're actually actively looking for trades. And if they're actively looking for trades, so you kind of just want to find those opportunities where you force Peach to try to slow approach you and utilize those lasers to deny float opportunities, use them as a check because they can't be swatted in priority, and out prioritize between laser stun and your aerials because you're only 1 frame slower than Peach. And if you both press your buttons at the same time. So laser will give you that little bit of an edge to where you now have that 1 frame advantage. And that's all you need. That's why Falco is such a difficult matchup for so many characters, and why it is difficult for Peach, but Peach's punish game is what makes it seem so difficult for you. You have to play more immaculately. So anyway, that's the end of my set analysis for you, Nick. I hope you take great out of it. And we're gonna go ahead and shut it down for there. For anyone else who's still tuning in, I'm currently just doing $5 best of 3s, best of 5s, $10 is cool. I mean, honestly, whatever you really want. If you just ask me, I'll probably do them. Not really doing too much. If I get a lot of people requesting them, of course, my prices will change. But right now, I'm just kind of doing them as they are, as I get them for homies around locally. Anyone else abroad, I can commentate for a lot of characters. I'm pretty versatile. Yeah, hope sign off here. Thanks for tuning in. Right now I don't have a schedule for anything, so alright, bye.